In this exercise, we're going to use the level tool, and we are going to create new levels in a newly created Revit project file. To do that, once you're on the home screen after you've opened Revit Architecture, we are going to look at the architectural template, and if I select architectural template, it is going to create a new Revit project file from that template. And when I look in the project browser, I can see the levels that have already been created with this template file. And it's shown by the floor plan views that are shown, level 1 and level 2. But I'm in a floor plan view, so if I go to the level tool that's on the datum tab, the datum portion of the architecture tab, it's grayed out. And so I need to go to a vertical view where I can see all of those levels in the Z direction, like the south elevation or any of the elevation views. You can see these. So I can see that there are 2 levels that are created by default in that template, and they are spaced just 10 feet apart. And so here we're going to look at creating new levels and modifying the levels that you already have. Now this process can be done anytime, but it's a good idea to establish all of your levels that you know about at the beginning of the project so that you can then anchor various Revit objects to those heights and maintain some organization with all of your objects that you're going to install. So if I want to create some additional levels, now I can see that the level tool is highlighted or available, and if I select that, then it launches the Modify Place Level tab, and then you have some options for placing these. You can do this a couple of different ways. The 2 that are shown, there's Draw Line and Pick Line in this Draw portion of the Modify Place Level tab. I'm going to select Pick Lines because I'm going to just offset from these existing level lines that are in place. So if I go to Pick Lines, now you can have any offset that you'd like. I'm going to show the offset as 10 feet because I want to show what happens or what could potentially happen if you already have a level that's at 10 feet. So I'm going to set the offset at 10 feet. And I want Make Plan View checked because I'm going to create 2 additional levels, but I want floor plan views to be associated with both of those. You could also have levels that are created within the project, such as top of framing or top of wall or top of structure or foundation, where you might want to establish a height within the project, but you might not have a floor plan view associated with that level. But for all of the ones that we're creating right now at the beginning of the project, we are going to have floor plan views associated with those. So I want floor plan view or Make Plan View checked. And if I hover over these lines, you can see that this preview line, that dashed light blue line, that's going to be where a new level will be created if I were to select this level 2 line. Now, the reason why I wanted to offset at 10 feet is just to show what happens if you hover over that level 2 line, then the dashed blue line preview for the next level is right where level 1 is. And if you're not careful, you could keep selecting level 2 and make new levels on top of levels that you already have. Revit is not going to tell you that you already have a level in that exact same place, because there may be some occasion where you want to have that. We don't want that right now because we're going to have these separate levels established. So as you make these new levels, make sure that you have that preview line showing above where you've got the existing level. If I click to place that, it's going to make one at level 3, and I'm going to make a 4th level, level 4, in the same way. Now, when you're finished making these levels, for right now we're just going to make 4 levels and we're going to adjust the heights of those. But as we look at that, if I don't get out of this command, if I don't hit modify or escape, the next point that I click on is going to be a place where it's going to want to make a new level. So I want to hit modify or escape on the keyboard. That will do the same thing, get you out of the level command. And then you can start modifying these levels that are in place. One thing that you can do is select either the text of the level name or the level height. Now, this 0 foot 0 inches, that's established at 0 foot 0 inches within the project. So you can change that to whatever height you want, and it doesn't just alter the text, it physically alters the height at which objects will be placed. So for example, if I wanted to make this 2 feet, and I type 2 feet, it is going to physically raise that level up 2 feet within the project. Sometimes projects are established based on 0 foot 0 being at the ground floor or some entry level. Sometimes they're established based on actual elevations within the project, for example, sea level or other corresponding surveying heights or things that are given from some type of topographical information. But regardless, you can always modify that by selecting the text. So if you want to do the same thing with the name of the level, you can select the text, and let's say I wanted to change this to 00 foundation. If I just type that and hit enter, it gives me a prompt that says, would you like to rename corresponding views? I'm going to select yes, because what happens is it's going to change the name of the floor plan and all of the other names associated with that particular level. It will be less confusing later on if you have the same exact name throughout. Then you'll know that that is referring to this 00 foundation level on the floor plan, that is that same level name. Now, the reason why you might want to number these is because if you just name these, then it's going to have that name set up in alphabetical order in the floor plan view. So that is using the level tool in a new project within Revit architecture.